Yeah, it's already open and it's already starting. All right. Hi, kings and queens. I'm B, and I want to welcome you to Spillin' Honey, the podcast that encourages you to spill it, honey. So today, I have my girls with me for a special Galentine's Day related episode. So first, I just want to say thank you, ladies, for doing this episode with me, because it's been a struggle trying to find reliable people to do episodes with me. Oh my gosh, like seriously, it has been a struggle. I've been going back and forth with my brother and everything. So thank you, ladies, first of all, for doing this episode with me. And just so I won't hold y'all up too much, I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into it and go down this list of questions that I have that are either Valentine's Day related or just relationship related in general. So the first question is Valentine's Day overrated to you? Why or why not?
Definitely overrated. I call it a Hallmark holiday because, because I grew up with friends who would just get depressed, just because they didn't get flowers on February 14th. And I'm like, it's 364 other days out the year. Why do I have to wait to hear I love you and get flowers and candy just on this day that somebody made up?
Right.
It's not worth it.
I feel the opposite. I don't think it's I love Valentine's Day. And I do. And I'm not even in love. I do. I just think it's a day that you even showing love to your friends. If you don't have a man, or showing love to your children. I really like it. I do. So, as far as like overrated, or if somebody feels sad about not getting some flowers. And I don't even care about flowers. I hate flowers. I don't want no flowers. Don't ever send me flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, no.
But I do see a lot. I've seen people call out of work because they don't want to be embarrassed because they don't get flowers at work. I have seen people, like you say, that get really sad about it, but not me.
We've been celebrating this day for years.
Right.
So back from 50 Shades of Grey,
we used to go to all the
like
50
a 50 Shades of Grey party. We don't did like all of the years, all of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So Galentine's Day has been something we've been celebrating even before.
They came up with Galentine's Day.
Before it was even a Galentine's Day.
Right.
It would be like, and I think for us, because I just love love. Like, simple as that. It doesn't necessarily always have to be in a relationship with a male-female type thing. I love my loved ones, my girlfriends, and we have our core group, especially Nikki, Carmen, us, this group here, that we travel together. So even when it's not Galentine's Day, we find a reason to celebrate. So any reason that's going to cause us to be able to come together, have this, you can call it whatever you want, but just the fact that we're all able to come together, love on one another, and just share, I'm with Nikki. Like, I got excited when I walked into the room. And it wasn't because, I'm thinking about a man or I'm thinking about being in love. Just the atmosphere and the love itself, that just does something for me. So yeah, I echo with her. Anything that's gonna give me the opportunity to come together, be loved, call it whatever you want to call it, I'm here for it.
Anybody else? Or next question.
Okay, so the next question is, do you feel like Valentine's Day is a woman's holiday?
I don't. When I was in love, I bought my spouse gifts, so I feel it should be equally shared. But I know a lot of women be like, no, that's not
I do. I buy for Reggie and Caleb for the Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I buy them. I mean, like I buy Caleb. He like Georgia Bulldogs, so I buy him. I bought him a blanket one year, and I buy Reggie candy and get him just little trinkets and stuff like that. And I personally don't even want to give him because it's all about my birthday. As long as y'all remember my birthday, I don't care about no Valentine's Day.
My birthday.
So I don't. It's not. I don't even. It's just another day to me. I don't even. We don't go out. Like when I was in a church that celebrated, they like really pushed it. Oh, we having like couples and all that kind of stuff. But This is another day to me.
Exactly.
I think most people think that it is a woman's holiday, or at least I feel like a lot of men feel like that because I think they feel like they're obligated to do on that day. But that's just my opinion on that one. I feel like they, I guess they feel like, oh, Valentine's Day comes, so I'm expected to buy her these flowers, or I'm expected to do this, or I'm expected to go all in because they, looking at men on social media that get the rose petals all out and stuff, and then the woman looking at them like, well, why you ain't do that for me? Right. So I feel like some men may probably feel like it's definitely, the pressure. I definitely think that. So, okay, so the next question was, do you feel like you have to have a significant other to celebrate Valentine's Day?
No. I mean, because I think, like, I don't really do much, but I'll go to Papa Murphy's and get the little heart-shaped pizza for the boys.
Me too. I love that. I do that like every year.
But my boys, they not, now, Damani loves love. Like, this boy was making, like, Jolly Rancher roses for his little girlfriend, making these big hearts, making, like, the big presentation. But that's what get them going.
Right.
Dylan could care less. I'm like, Dylan, you want to go get some Valentine's Day cards for the kids at school? No.
Well, no, that's you, too.
That's me, too.
Right.
But, I try to, even though I feel how I feel, I don't want to take that away from them.
Right.
So I try to do a little something to make them feel special about that day, but not much.
Well, that goes back to basically what Trish just said. Mm-hmm. That question. We've been, for 50 Shades of Grey, we went.
Right.
How many episodes it was?
Oh my
I think it was like 3 movies or something.
It was 3.
Like that.
Every Valentine's Day, we weren't doing. We was going to see that.
Exactly.
Every year, that was our go out to eat.
Like going out to eat.
Day, so no, I don't.
And then when the Fire Stick came out, we started watching
Oh,
it. Before that, we used to go to the movies. Then we got a Fire Stick, and it was like, we're gonna change it up. Y'all come over, let's watch it on Fire Stick.
Yeah, I don't think you have to.
Right. Yeah, you was booed up.
Okay.
You stay booed up.
So you probably have a different perspective. Speak on this.
Right. Right. You be booed up.
Look, exactly. Look, you ain't gotta tell nobody who you are. Just speak on it.
Speak on that.
We ain't gonna tell.
I'm waiting on the next question.
Okay, she pleads the 5th. All right. So the next question is, if you don't like traditional Valentine's Day gifts, like, for example, bears or flowers, should you tell your significant other that you don't like them?
Yes. Please.
Please.
Okay,
I like
so
flowers.
Don't.
Right, I don't like flowers
fake
either.
it. You don't want
I
to.
like them as far as decorating around the house, but don't send me no flowers. That's just to me a waste of money.
Yeah.
My friend sent me the flowers that last forever.
You
What
talking
they
about
call?
the floral?
I still have those. Now those I love. I'll take that any day.
Take what?
So it's the box and the flowers. You open it up and they won't never die.
Yeah.
The flowers.
The Kardashians have a lot
They're
of them.
live roses.
Yeah,
they
they
last
live
forever.
and they don't die.
They'll never die.
The Kardashians, where they really took off, because they've been out for a long time. When they were getting their names. I
remember them flowers.
Yeah.
So people send them to them and they will open the
you
box.
don't have to care for it or not?
No, if they stay alive forever.
It's the best thing. It's on my list.
No, it's not a plant. It comes in a pretty box and it stays in the box.
It stays in the box the whole time. I should have brought them with me.
No.
You have a picture?
You can pull them up. Yeah, it's very popular.
What's the name?
I've never seen them in person. I've seen them online and people post them. I always want to see.
What, Can't Die Rose?
They're pricey too.
Yeah, I was say they're not cheap.
Yeah, I think they okay.
They're a gift.
So I wonder why.
That's a gift from a chick. There they go.
Yeah, that's what they look
So I wonder why some people are so afraid to tell their significant other that they. That's what they call infinity roses.
A rose forever.
Oh no, it's okay. Oh no, I was just saying I wonder why some people are so afraid to tell their significant other that they don't like those things.
I think my mama always taught me, when somebody gives me something to say thank you. So it's like someone reached out to me just recently. We was just talking about the free tickets to seeing Kim. And he was like, hey, I got the tickets. I know you like VIP and everything. And then my response was, hey, it's a free ticket. Thank you. You know what I mean? Do I really want the tickets way back in nosebleeds? No, but, you know, I'm not going to say. So I think when somebody presents you something, if you were raised with any type of manners, you don't be like, I don't want that. You just say, hey, yeah, thank you.
I'm good with telling my preference. Like, for years, I've always wanted chocolate-covered strawberries on Valentine's. That's just like, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, plug-in, hey, you know what I really want? So I'm good with saying, this is what I want. So if you send me something else, it's like, but I told you. I really want. So I think you can be honest and say what you like, you know.
But I think when she's saying, like, why do people not, I think sometimes you just don't think about it. And then when the person done gave you something else, you know, say, I don't want that. Well, you can, but.
So, well, let me say this. So, the guy that I just dumped, he sent me flowers, right? And they were beautiful. They smelled great. And I told him thank you. They were beautiful. They smelled. I did all of that.
Yeah.
However, I said I personally don't like flowers, so you don't have to send me flowers anymore. Because I think it's a waste of money. They'll be dead in a week. Exactly. I would rather have a pair of shoes or a gift card.
Or the money that you spent on the flowers. Just give me the money that you spent on the flowers.
You should tell the person versus just saying, okay, don't say nothing and then
being ungrateful.
No, right.
Yeah, so you don't have. I mean,
Some women love flowers.
Some people do.
My stepmom loved, Teresa loves flowers.
I don't like flowers.
I mean, Teresa is very feminine.
Like flowers.
She do. She
You know,
loves
That's my
flowers.
last name. I got flowers. Like,
You right.
I buy them for my house and I make little decorations with them, you know, right around the holidays. I do little things like that. But far as sending me flowers, I just think it's a waste of money.
Right.
Especially since the money's coming for when, you know, you can, let me tell you what I want.
Right.
So I do the chocolate and strawberries, but I'm not too much into flowers because they just, and then Valentine's Day, they like almost double the prices.
Those, oh my gosh, the roses?
Yes, they just
Don't have it delivered.
Child, you spending
so
over
expensive.
$100.
So no,
Yeah.
I never.
Right.
And for Valentine's Day, I never got caught up on how the people was. I remember one lady at my job, she would send herself flowers.
That's what I heard. A lot of women.
A lot of people do that.
Send themselves flowers.
It's not that worth it. I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
for Valentine's
They
Day.
say people was doing.
Yeah, it made them feel better because if they seeing like the lady with their husband getting the flower bouquet,
your
they
friend. You should just tell your friend, hey girl, send me something home. I'm just saying, if it's that much to you, just reach out and you got somebody close into your life and be like, hey, just like you said, on your birthday, you know you want something. Everybody not like that.
Birthday.
So, but if you have somebody you like, look, this day is really special to me. And I say,
I don't care what you say.
well, I won't ask you if it was somebody else and it's like, hey, well, I ain't gonna do that. I just want to be like, I don't know.
It might be your birthday.
Just hush. Somebody else.
So just to throw a wrench, what do you do if, and this is not on my list, I'm just curious. So what do you do if you tell a person or a significant other or whatever what you like and they still go out and buy you the opposite of what you wanted?
Well, then
so
you
what
make
do you
a
do at that
note
point?
because now it's, okay, so they don't even listen to me.
Right.
they're not attentive.
Right.
And you do it back to them on their special.
You throw it out. You throw it.
Right,
That's
okay.
what I wanted to do.
yeah, they just sauce.
I would too. I was just curious,
It's
right?
kind of like Mother's Day, because no mother really want to go out to eat for Mother's Day. Like, just go away. Let me just have my day to
That
myself.
part, yeah.
I could do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But people, no, we going out to eat, but that's not what I want to do.
Right.
Same thing, right? Same difference.
I just did it.
I get both.
Noted. Look, noted. I just
it
noted
going
that for
out.
Mother's
Like,
Day.
I don't know why.
Even though I don't even bother my mama for Mother's Day.
We always do brunch.
She don't.
We used to go to
she-
the brewery. They closed it
Oh,
down.
I know you're talking about. They used to have good brunch.
The all you can eat with the crab legs
Yeah,
and
you're
all
talking
that.
about
for
down there
Mother's
on the
Day.
Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
me
hate
and Reggie,
it.
we just
The
pick a
food was
random place.
delicious, but just would hate it. Like all the
Just that
wait,
crowd,
the
that
crowd.
rush.
Servicing.
I just want to. I don't want to.
Well,
if I said I get up and cook breakfast and do all of that, is it really my day?
Right.
It's not.
But
It's still about y'all.
But we don't do that for them on Father's Day.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I did.
I do. I cook barbecue.
You know, the men be online like, yeah, we got a tie.
I never do that. I never like that.
We got a tie.
I don't like that. I
I
tried to buy.
My kid with
apron.
And Dylan be in Atlanta in June,
Right.
so I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
But the guys, they do get mad because even the kids, they celebrate, you know, and it's always towards the mom,
Right.
never for the dad.
It's never for the
But some of those dads that complain, they not putting in the work and the time and giving the get. So sometimes you got to look at the ones that's complaining. We're like, what do you do?
Right.
Yeah, you deserve.
Right.
Mamas, we here every day.
Right.
You're right.
All right. Okay. So so the next question is, this is, I guess, more geared towards married couples or married people in here, but non-married can chime in. How do you keep the spark alive on Valentine's Day? Like, because think about it like this. If you have been together for 20 years or whatever, how do you celebrate 20 Valentine's days? Like, it just seems like repetitive. Like,
I made it 9 the first one, 5
Well, for me and my house, because we've been married, we'll be already approaching 30 years, and
That's awesome.
that is so beautiful. Beautiful. Clap it up for that beautiful black girl.
but you gotta realize that in our eyesight, you know, that's just another day. Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't look at Valentine's Day, oh, we're celebrating Valentine's Day. Reggie really, in a sense, celebrate me like every day. You know what I'm saying? He says I don't show enough love. But I mean, like prime example, every time I cook brother, he said, oh, thank you for cooking. And my mind said that's what I'm supposed to do. So when he go and do something like mow the lawn, oh, I mow the lawn, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So with me, it's shown every day. So it is not about this holiday of saying, oh, you know, I love you when I'm doing this. It's shown every day. And you know what I'm saying? And to me, love is an action word. Mm-hmm. So we're showing it in our actions. If you don't love somebody, you can tell, you know, because there was a period of time in our marriage that it was on the downhill, and I didn't see some things, and it kind of went downhill. So I knew it was the trajectory had changed in our relationship. So then we had almost started from scratch, and it just took a lot of prayer because at that time when it went down, I was done, like stick a fork in me.
What made you stick it out?
Yes, that was my next one.
Just it was more so prayer and it was God. And okay, let me just explain this to you too, with me even sticking it out during that situation, because I was like ready to throw in the towel. I mean, honestly, I was done. And even though I just started praying and I just started asking God, change me, give me the love for my husband that I once had when I first saw him, because it got to the point where I didn't want to come home, and I wasn't coming home. Amen. I was coming home very late. I wanted to make sure he was in bed when I got home because I didn't want to talk.
But that's exhausting.
It's exhausting, but even when it was exhausting, I didn't care.
Oh no, I'm with you,
So I mean, even though it was to that point, I didn't care. Like, I was just doing me. I hadn't had I was like, I'm just doing me. Right. And so, you know, people may have looked at it like, oh, and it was selfish. You know, when I go back and look at it, it was selfish, but it was just like, when you get hurt people hurt. Mm-hmm. You want them to hurt the way you're hurt. Mm-hmm. So,
and they never do though.
Huh?
They never do.
Never do what? Never do.
Get hurt.
Hurt. Because I was.
People. Right.
Oh,
I mean, I did get a divorce, right? But same thing. Like I remember just like coming home from work and sitting in the car like for 30 minutes, prepping myself to walk into the house. Mm-hmm. You know, like just stuff like that. And
I ain't prepped myself. I just didn't come
home.
I got home late.
You ain't even sit outside.
I ain't gonna sit outside. When I came in, I was like, if he was up, like, he's still up.
So, but what made you? I mean,
How
so
did you
you
get
said
past it?
prayer,
Prayer.
but what made you turn that corner?
Just one day.
It was just, it wasn't even a turn the corner. It was just like I had to just kind of like, it was like,
You didn't want to give up what you had.
yeah, it was like, okay, I'll tell you this. All right, I'll tell you this. This is what I start looking at and just listen to friends and stuff. There was nothing out there.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about it, what I had home, I knew what I had at home.
Right.
So why go start something else? Because some of these jokers out here are just, it's just not right.
It's not right.
And I hear
It's
with
even worse
some of my
now.
single friends
Ooh.
out there dating. I'm like, so do I want to start that life over again
No.
and have to deal with this person, not really know who this person is
Right.
when I know what I got at home?
Right.
So then I start looking at it in that aspect and just start saying, and I just start just praying and just start seeking God and just saying, you know, kind of help me.
Yeah.
You know, help me, like I told you, help me to love him the way when I first saw him
Right.
versus what I seen him to what he, you know, different things that I didn't like about him. Because, you know, it got to the point you don't even want to look at him. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, I remember one time we went out and I was ordering drink. He said, why you drink? I need that to get the deal with you.
Right.
I need 2 of these.
Right.
You know, it got to that point. So, you know, I start changing myself within. And it's still a work in progress. You know, some things that I'm working on myself.
Right.
You know, just saying, okay, I need to change myself in that area. Because one thing about the scripture, my favorite scripture, it says, love thy neighbor as thyself. So if you begin to love that person the way you love yourself, then it cannot do nothing but change the heart of that person. That person may not want to, but when you start treating the person, they be like, real, you know, what made you but it ain't got nothing to do with them. It's just that you got to begin to just see them the way God sees them. And we have mercy. We want mercy on ourselves all day long, but we don't want to give another person mercy.
Right.
But we want all the mercy. You won't forget, you want all the mercy, but then you don't want to give that person mercy. So that's why my question is, whenever you're willing to give up, think hard about what you're giving up. And I'm just going to keep it real. There was some indiscretions in both of our part. So you got to be able to look past, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to say, are you really willing to stick it out past that?
Right.
See, a lot of us want to throw in a towel and give up because that's what the world does. The world gives up. They want to say, okay, I'm sick of this. I don't want to deal with this. And I'm not saying don't deal with a person that's verbally abusive. No, you don't deal with that. And if you see a person repetitive doing something and they're not going to change,
Right.
don't deal with that.
Right.
But I'm saying if you see if there's any inkling of being a change and you want to hold on to your marriage, hold on to it.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to it because there is just nothing. I mean, it's just nothing out there. I just looking at it. And I mean, even if you're saying a God-fearing person, everything, everybody is coming to the table now with a mask.
Right.
How long you want to wait for just a little piece of that mask come off to really see the real true person that you're dealing with?
No, I was just going to say that. You took the words out of my mouth. The
And
representative.
when that person comes out, then you got to deal with that person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and God forbid if you have kids or if you know what I'm saying, get to a point where you really, now it's like, how do I get out of this? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then too, with anything, and I'm just going to tell you that even if you're not a Christian, if you ask God to seek God before you make any decision, he will not fail you. Sometimes we do a lot of things on our own and what our flesh want to do. Our flesh like to be satisfied. We like the things that make us feel good. But once those feelings are gone, ain't no sex or nothing going to have you want to go back to that person. You are just disgusted.
Right.
So you get what I'm saying? You got to get past your flesh. And our flesh tends to run our life nowadays. That's why we need to get spirit filled and get back on the track of letting our spirit man. Because one thing about, and let me just tell you this, another reason about going vegan and changing my diet. When you begin to cleanse out your inside and get all that junk out your inside, which takes a while to cleanse all that stuff out, your gut never steers you wrong. So now your gut is clear. So when the Holy Spirit quicken you and tell you something, it'll tell you right then. You're able to move. Versus now you're so clouded and distracted by so many things in the world and the food that we consume our whole day on what we're going to eat, what we're going to drink. But when you're not concerned with that, you can make decisions more clearly. No brain fog, no, you know what I'm saying? And y'all know, all of us know your gut. Y'all know when you're saying something and that's your gut feeling, that's Holy Spirit. You able to hear and you able to move and saying, God, I shouldn't move that way. And even if you get in a bad relationship and you get ready to get out of that relationship and you start thinking back, God was telling you, you should never marry that person anyway. So now you got to deal with the aftermath. Let's start over. Ain't gonna get you through it. But you know what I'm saying? That's one thing about it. Anything you go through is a lesson learned. And when you learn that lesson, you won't go down that road again. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's just like a child. When you touch something that's hot, you tell that child all the time, don't touch something that's hot. And then you got someone that's going to touch it. So then you got to deal with the burn. You got to heal that burn. So it's the same thing with us as a body. We got to be able to heal that, what's going on in it. And then once you get healed, then I think you're able, like with your situation, then you know what you need to do. You're not ready for a relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right. Because you got to be happy with, date yourself.
Oh, I'm enjoying myself.
So, that's just my whole take on it. I didn't even take up that much time. But
No, that was perfect, bro. You said a mouthful. Ooh, yes.
Because I was there in my marriage, and when Bubby died, and Granny came up to Atlanta with me for those couple of weeks. Right. And, it's really good to have conversations like with family, with, your grandmother, because it's, you see people in a certain light, certain adults as you grow up, but then as you become an adult, those conversations, they change a bit, right? Mm-hmm. So I would always talk to Granny, and so she was up there with me, and I didn't know her and Grandpa had separated twice, and I didn't know, because all I saw was they were still, they were always together. Right. Yeah, they was cussing each other out, but it was in love. Right. But one thing about it, so back to my personal relationship, I just felt like it was just me, putting in all the work. Yeah, he gave me some words to keep me quiet, but those actions didn't line up with those words. And at some point, it's, well, if I'm in this by myself, why are you here? Right. If I'm the banker, I'm the mom, I'm the wife, I'm the this, I'm the that, why are you here? And so I had to make that hard decision for myself, because at that point, I think Buddy was the only one who was divorced. Everybody else was still married in all of our family. And so that's like a hard pill to swallow, because you feel like it's a failure almost, even though no one could tell me, well, what did I do wrong? And so when you don't have like that baseline, like, how can I improve? How can I make this marriage better? But it takes two people, because it's not just you in that marriage. Mm-hmm. And so I think for me, I think that was like the biggest hurdle to try to get over, the embarrassment of it, the failure of it, all of these different things, plus the expectations of your family and all of that is all on you. And that's just a lot of stress to try to juggle everything. With the child, right. Because you want that unit for your child. I want what my parents had, right? And I haven't been able to attain that.
Yeah, I feel like the parents' relationships, it don't exist no more.
Well, a lot of things.
Our grandparents and our parents.
Let's just go back to what she said earlier.
But listen
they
to this
did
though.
Separate, but they
separate. But see, a lot of those people just stayed around and just took it, and they got married at a young age because they had no other skills to move on. So what you're talking about, who's to say they was happy? Because did you even have that conversation with them? Because my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, I found out so much when my father-in-law lived with me that they weren't happy. Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. Mm-hmm. Staying in separate rooms. And I can even remember as a child with my great aunt and her. So you can't say that's not what you're seeing. That what we're looking at that we think is functional, but it was dysfunctional.
Right.
True. And we think it's functional, but it's not. So, we never really seen what a true marriage looks like. So that's why when we get married, we're emulating what we think we saw or what we're seeing around us. Mm-hmm. And then we have friends or stuff that's in our ear that's telling us things that shouldn't be. Like I had people be like, oh, you gotta leave him. Yeah, but you're single. Right. You get what I'm saying? So you can't listen to. You got to be careful on who you lend your ear to.
It goes back to your gut of what is
Right.
God telling you to do for your life.
Right.
Your
So
purpose.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to be able to listen and then get a peace about it. If you get a peace about it with God, then there's nothing I can tell you because God's going to take care of you.
Right.
So don't worry about what everybody. And I know it's really hard to say because everybody is so worried about what everybody say, or you're being judged on it. But don't be judged
Or
because
the fear of being alone.
Yeah.
And that's like
that is.
I heard a lot of people have that fear, like, am I gonna be able to do it by myself?
Right.
You know, so you can't have that fear to stick to something or stay in something that's maybe not good for you.
Right. I did that too. I mean, I think I stayed a lot longer in my marriage because of the fear, not having the faith to think that I could do it on my own.
Right.
To not be able to afford to do it on my own.
Right.
Have that
And then
man
once
there,
I-
that man
right.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Did y'all try counseling?
Oh yeah, twice.
Okay.
And
so
that
you
was.
tried.
Oh yeah, I tried. I mean, because I couldn't just break up with him. Like he wasn't a boyfriend. He was my husband.
Right.
Like I made a
I think
vow.
when you know you tried, you shouldn't feel guilty or like a failure because like
you don't feel guilty, do you?
No, not now. I mean, but
in that
it,
moment, right?
In it, yeah.
You feel right.
And I mean, but to go back to our grandparents and stuff, I mean, because when you start hearing about, oh well, Papa had a whole other family across
On the
the
other
tracks.
side of the street.
And she
Your
knew.
granddaddies was doing all of them.
Right.
And she knew.
And it
But
was
then,
acceptable.
but those women, they didn't have the same freedoms and rights that we had.
I know.
Like we couldn't own property until
Right.
what, the 70s? You couldn't have your own bank account until the 70s. Like
But women nowadays balling. Like they don't need
It's
to
different, right? It's
They don't even need to have a
So our grandparents had to stay.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
They
They
didn't
was in a
have to-
relationship.
That would help in
They had no choice.
Yeah.
And they had nobody that really was going to help them.
Because
Right.
a lot, especially black
Think
black
about
women now are
when
doing
you
really
watch
good.
what's
Right.
got to
I
do.
mean,
Wasn't that sad about her
think
mom?
about it.
The whole time
If
she
as a
said she
black
thinks
woman,
she
I
wants
only
her
want
mama.
to date
You
a black
pay the bills.
man.
Right.
Your
You know
whole
what I'm saying?
real
It's
small.
Her mind.
And she wanted to get out. And she was in a
It's
very
real
bad
small.
situation.
Like living in
think have to think
Atlanta, it
differently
was so
now.
sickening to watch. Like because not to say that everybody's the same in Jacksonville, but for the most part, women from Jacksonville are very independent. And then when you go somewhere and you see women, okay. So in Atlanta, like it was a look. You had the hair, you had the red bottoms, you had the purse. But you was getting out of this old busted car because you was getting on your knees or doing something for this man to pay your rent. Or whatever the case may be, right? And so when I got up to Atlanta, I used to get into like almost fights with men because I'm like, I have a career. I don't need you for anything. So why are you in my face? Because you giving the bare minimum because that's what other women allow.
Yeah, I heard that up there.
And it was just sickening. I did not like Atlanta. I did not like it.
It's a lot of, from what I understand, a
I
lot
feel
of
you.
fakeness. Like,
Yeah,
you think
yeah.
a person is balling and doing this, and they're
Oh
really
yeah.
doing a lot
They
of
correct
stuff.
like it's all about the appearance
Mhm.
of something. So yeah, this guy might stay in the new penthouse in the new hot spot in Atlanta, but you don't have furniture and you living on credit cards.
All that part.
You don't have savings, or it's a lot of white collar crime. Like Florida
Yeah.
and Georgia are the 1 and 2 states in the country that has like white collar crime, stealing credit cards. Anytime you hear about a breach with social security card or social security numbers, like from the hospitals, from the banks, it's because these people are all working together, getting these lists, doing tax fraud.
They call it the black market. I was looking at it on.
Yeah.
The black
And
web.
it's a
The
lot
black
of
web.
that.
The black web.
It's a lot of that in Atlanta, and you don't see it from the outside, but once you in it, it's like, oh, this is a cesspool. I didn't like it because people could just reinvent themselves to be whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
But here in Jacksonville, you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and you can follow up on the story. So it's just different. I didn't.
I wouldn't have
Me
had
neither. I ain't like it either. You know I ain't like it. We done talked about that one.
that. That ain't my man. That's my man.
We done talked about it.
I gotta go.
I don't know what them boys doing at the
Where
house.
they,
All right, and then the last question, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So the last question is, it says, how do you find your Boaz when you're single and longing?
How do you find your what?
Boaz. But while you're single and what?
And longing, like you're longing for a relationship.
Longing.
That's not the question for me.
I don't know. What? How do you find your Boaz?
When you're single and longing, like when you're single and you desire to be with somebody.
Nowadays, you darn near got to get on the website.
Okay, well, let's back this up because people use Boaz out of context.
What's
Because
Boaz?
Boaz is from the biblical thing. Boaz was a man that took Ruth and
Okay.
married her and took care of her, and like she ended up marrying somebody very wealthy. But you got to understand the state that Ruth was in. So people want to find a Boaz, but they're not in the state to even find
To
that
accept
Boaz.
that.
Right.
That is almost to the point where you say you want to find you want you a $6 million
You a
baller,
baller,
but then your mindset, you a hood rat.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Not to knock anything against that. So basically, if you're trying to find your Boaz, you need to prepare yourself like Esther did. Esther prepared herself. So she was prepared. Her brother groomed her and told her what she could do. And then she was just very beautiful to look at. So she was ready for her king. So a lot of people are wanting their Boaz and they're longing for him, but they themselves have not even, they got insecurities. So what's going to happen when you get this man? Are you going to be able to keep him? Because of Boaz, his mind thinks differently.
Right.
So you're not even at the mindset. So a lot of people use Boaz out of context. They want that kind of man, but then they don't even have the mindset to even get that man or even keep that man when they have him. So that's my whole thing with Boaz. That's why he be the my Boaz is out there, but you raggedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your heart not right.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that was some good perspective. You been preaching. Yes. You've been telling me all the good tea. Yeah, I need y'all on some episodes more often. Y'all be giving all the good perspective for the good young people like me.
So one thing, hold on, Britt. So I asked Granny, well, why did you get back with Grandpa? You know, why if y'all separated 2 separate occasions, 6 months each time, and she said, because I loved him and I didn't want nobody else to have him. I said that had to be like one of the realest things Granny ever said to me.
Wow.
And that's what
I ain't never even heard her say she loved
hey,
him.
you want to try again? He told me no.
I ain't never even heard her say she loved him.
At that point.
Who was that? Who was that? Your first?
Yeah.
My husband.
Oh, okay.
My ex-husband. Yeah. He wanted to be in the streets. Matter of fact, he said, "Oh, if we would have talked 3 days sooner."
I was going to say,
You remember that?
because like with separation is supposed to be that little part where if a relationship you feeling like I ain't really happy here no more. Like Todd said, she realized there was nothing out there.
Right.
But sometimes you just drag that thing out.
Yeah.
They gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, they find that one girl that one man that it's too late.
He wanted several.
That one man that think he's an old shoe and make him look like a Louboutin. Because you didn't have the time to put into him. You was more so thinking about yourself.
Rena alone.
Right.
Right, I was gonna say that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. They'll catch it later. They will catch it later. But, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of Spilling Honey. So remember to always be you, be free, be authentic. And with that said, I am signing off, and my ladies are signing off with me.